My name is Elena Carter, and for the last 4 years, I've lived alone in a small apartment in Manchester. Most nights are quiet, too quiet. I work late, come home, make myself a cup of tea, and fall asleep to the soft sound of rain against the window. 4 years ago, my husband Daniel disappeared during a work trip to Spain. The police said it was an accident, lost at sea during a violent storm, but they never found his body. For a long time, I believed them. I tried to move on, but some nights I still feel like he's here. Then, one night, something impossible happened. At exactly 2:17 a.m., my phone started ringing. At first, I didn't recognize the sound, until I realized it was Daniel's ringtone, and the number on the screen was his one. At first, I froze. It had to be a mistake, maybe an old contact or a number glitch. But the call didn't stop. It kept ringing, again and again. My heart pounded as I reached for the phone. On the fourth ring, I finally answered. Hello? Silence. Just the faint hiss of static, like wind blowing through an empty tunnel. Then a breath, soft, uneven, and a whisper. Elena, can you hear me? I went cold. That voice, I would know it anywhere. Daniel? I whispered back, my voice shaking. But before I could say another word, the line went dead. I sat there in the dark, staring at the phone in my hand, the screen still glowing with his name. And for the first time in 4 years, I didn't feel alone. The next night, I couldn't sleep. Every sound, every creak of the floor, every hum of the fridge made me jump. I kept checking the clock. 2 a.m., 2:10, and then 2:17. The phone lit up again. Same number, same ringtone. My heart was hammering so loud I could barely breathe. This time, I didn't answer. I just watched it vibrate on the table, the screen glowing in the dark. Each flash of light felt like a heartbeat, steady, alive, refusing to stop. When it finally stopped ringing, the silence that followed was worse. I picked up the phone and noticed something new, a missed call notification, and beneath it, a voice message. Hands shaking, I pressed play. At first, there was only static. Then, a faint voice, broken and distant. Elena, they lied to you. The message cut off. I stared at the phone, frozen, because that voice wasn't Daniel's. I replayed the message again and again, hoping I'd misheard it. But the voice, low, rough, almost trembling, definitely wasn't Daniel's. Whoever it was, they knew about him. And about the lie. The rest of the night, I couldn't stop thinking about those 3 words. They lied to you. Who were they? The police? His company? Or someone else entirely? By morning, I decided I couldn't ignore it anymore. I checked the call log. The number was still there, but when I tried to trace it, nothing. No record, no location. Like it didn't exist. Then, as I set the phone down, a notification popped up. A new message. Same number. No text. Just one attachment. An image. My heart sank when I opened it. It was a photo. Grainy, dark, but I could still recognize the man standing in it. It was Daniel, and he was looking straight at the camera. My stomach twisted. The background of the photo was blurred. Shapes, shadows, maybe trees. But behind him, there was light, flickering like fire. His eyes, they weren't the same. Daniel's eyes used to be warm, full of mischief. Here they looked distant, hollow, like he was staring through me, not at me. I zoomed in. Something glimmered near his wrist. A tag, metallic, like an ID band. And there, half faded, were the letters. Project S17. Before I could think, my phone buzzed again. Same number. This time, just a text. He's not dead, but he's not the same. My hands went cold, because whoever was sending these messages, they weren't warning me. They were watching me. 5. I dropped the phone. It hit the floor with a dull thud, but I barely heard it. All I could think about were those words. He's not the same. For a moment, I just stood there, staring at the shadows around me. Every corner of the room suddenly felt alive, like something was there, watching. Then, a soft buzz. The phone screen lit up again. Another message. This time, a video file. I hesitated, my thumb hovering over play. But curiosity won. The screen filled with darkness at first. Just the sound of wind. Then, a faint light flickered. A figure stepped into frame. Daniel, wearing the same clothes from a photo. Only now, his movements were wrong. Jerky. Unnatural. And when he turned toward the camera, his lips moved, but the voice that came out wasn't his. Elena, you shouldn't have looked for me. The video ended. And right then, my lights went out. The room plunged into darkness. For a second, I thought it was just a power cut, until I noticed something strange. The phone was still glowing, only the video was playing again. But this time, Daniel wasn't alone. Behind him, shapes, human silhouettes, faint, shifting, almost melting into the shadows. They were standing still, but I could feel them breathing. My hands shook as I reached for the charger, trying to force the phone off. But the screen didn't respond. The video kept looping, Daniel's voice distorted, dragging through the static. You shouldn't have looked for me. You shouldn't have... I yanked the battery out. Silence. And then, from somewhere inside the apartment, a knock. 3 slow, heavy knocks, coming from my front door. 7. I froze. The sound echoed through the apartment, deep, deliberate, like whoever was outside wanted me to know they were there. Another knock, louder this time. My heartbeat drowned out everything else. I grabbed my phone. The screen was still dark, dead, until it suddenly lit up on its own. Just one word, open. My throat went dry. I took a step toward the door, every instinct screaming, don't do it. Then, from the other side, Daniel's voice. Elena, it's me. Please, let me in. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. The melody lingered in the air, slow, haunting. The same tune Daniel used to hum when he thought I was asleep. But it wasn't coming from outside. It was coming from the living room. I stepped closer, the floorboards creaking beneath my feet. The music grew louder, echoing through the walls, until I realized where it was coming from. Daniel's old voice recorder, the one I had left inside the storage box. It was sitting on the table, its red light blinking, playing by itself. Elena, Daniel's voice whispered through the static. You opened the wrong door. My blood ran cold. Behind me, the front door slammed shut, hard. The sound echoed like thunder. I turned, but the hallway was empty. Only my reflection stared back from the darkened window. And for the first time, it wasn't alone. 8. I stared at the glass, heart pounding so loud it drowned out the silence. My reflection was still there, but it wasn't moving like me. It blinked a second too late. It smiled when I didn't. "Daniel?" I whispered. The reflection tilted its head, slowly, the same way he used to when he was teasing me. Only this time, its eyes were wrong. Too dark, too empty. Then, behind the reflection, movement. A shadow stepped forward, closer to the glass. It looked like Daniel, but his face was twisted, blurred by the faint glow of the recorder still playing on the table. "Elena," the reflection mouthed, "come back." A loud crack splintered the glass. I stumbled backward, and from the shattered reflection, a cold gust swept through the room. The lights flickered, the voice recorder clicked off, and somewhere in that heavy silence, I heard it, faint, distant, almost a whisper. For a long time, I didn't move. The room felt colder now, the kind of cold that sinks into your bones. The window stood dark and silent, but I could still feel something on the other side. Watching, waiting. I picked up the recorder from the table. It was warm, too warm, as if someone had just been holding it. The screen flickered once, showing a line of distorted text I couldn't make out. Then a faint click. It started playing again. But this time, it wasn't Daniel's voice. It was mine. "You shouldn't have opened it, Elena. Now it knows where you are." My fingers went numb. The reflection in the shattered glass shifted, just slightly, though I hadn't moved at all. It was still me, but smiling. Then the recorder's light blinked 3 times and went out. In the silence that followed, a whisper slid through the darkness. Soft, close, seen, the presence. I spun around, but there was no one there. Just the faint hum of the city outside, distant, muffled, like the world had shrunk to this one room. The air felt wrong, heavy. Each breath I took came out in a small cloud, though the heater was still on. I backed away slowly, my eyes darting to every shadow. The door, the window, the corners where the light didn't reach. And then I saw it. A handprint. Fresh, clear, pressed into the inside of the glass. I froze. My own reflection was gone, replaced by darkness, stretching inward like an open mouth. Something moved behind that darkness, slow, crawling, deliberate. My phone buzzed once in my pocket. A message. "Don't turn around." I did, and for the first time, I saw what had been watching me all along. It was standing inches behind me. Not a shadow, not quite human either. Its skin shimmered like liquid glass, shifting, reflecting pieces of my own face, like it was trying to be me. I couldn't scream. The air was thick, pressing down on my chest as its head tilted, studying me with eyes that were just voids. No color, no light, just endless black. Then it smiled, a broken, jagged version of my own smile. "You let me in," it whispered. The lights flickered again. And for a split second, the thing's reflection rippled across every surface. The glass, the metal, even the dark of the TV screen, until the whole room seemed to breathe with it. I stumbled backward, grabbing the recorder. The red light blinked on by itself. Daniel's voice bled through the static, panicked, urgent. "Elena, listen to me. It's not me. Whatever you see, don't let it speak your name." I froze, clutching the recorder like it could somehow protect me. The creature's head twitched, once, twice, and then it began mouthing something. I couldn't hear the words, but I knew what it was trying to say. My name. Every instinct screamed for me to run, but my body refused to move. The air around me pulsed, humming like the world itself was holding its breath. The reflection on the walls shimmered again. Hundreds of copies of that thing, whispering soundlessly in unison. The recorder hissed with static, and Daniel's voice came through, breaking, fading. If it says your name, it becomes you. I covered my ears, backing toward the door. But then, from somewhere deep inside the walls, my own voice whispered back. Soft, perfect, terrifyingly calm. Elena. The lights exploded in a burst of white, and in that instant, I saw myself smiling from every reflection at once. When the light faded, everything was still. Too still. The walls no longer looked like walls. They rippled faintly, like a reflection on water. Everywhere I looked, my own face stared back, not moving when I did, not blinking when I blinked. Each one was smiling. The recorder slipped from my hand and hit the floor with a hollow crack. The red light blinked once, then went out for good. From the darkness around me, a chorus of whispers rose, my own voice. Layered 100 times over. You opened the door. You looked into the glass. Now we see you. My throat felt dry as dust. I backed up until my shoulders hit the cold mirror behind me and felt fingers reach out from the other side. The last thing I heard before everything went silent was my own voice, but softer, almost kind. Don't worry, Elena. You're home now. No hum of the city, no wind, no sound, just a deep, endless stillness. When I opened my eyes, the room was gone. I was standing in a space that looked almost identical. Same furniture, same walls, but everything shimmered, faintly translucent, like it was made of glass. I turned toward the window. Outside wasn't Manchester anymore. It was an ocean, dark, infinite, and something was moving beneath its surface. Then I saw her, a figure, standing on the other side of the mirror. Me, or something that looked like me. She smiled, placed her hand on the glass, and mouthed the words, "Stay." I stepped closer and felt the surface ripple beneath my touch. A heartbeat pulsed through it, mine. The glass began to close over me, smooth, cold, unyielding. And as the world faded to silver, one last whisper echoed through the air, 100 voices, all my own. You were never watching, Elena. We were. The silence stayed. No whispers, no light, just the faint shimmer of glass, breathing in the dark. On the floor, the broken shards slowly began to move, pulling together, forming a single, perfect reflection. And in that reflection, she stood, Elena, smiling. Her voice came soft, distant, almost like an echo from the other side. You can't close what's already open. The mirror rippled once, and then everything went still. The lights flickered back on, but the room was empty. Only the mirror remained, and in it, you, watching. This was The Mirror Knows. If you felt the chill tonight, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to UA VoxiTales for more dark stories that never stop watching.